For the first time in American history, the son of a sitting president goes on trial. All that and more now on Graf's Grievances. You heard that right. President Biden's sole surviving son, Hunter, entered a Wilmington, Delaware courthouse this morning to face federal gun charges brought by his father's Justice Department. Hunter facing 3 criminal counts, 2 for allegedly completing a form indicating he was not using illegal drugs when he bought a revolver in 2018, and a 3rd count for allegedly possessing a firearm while using a narcotic. Hunter has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and if convicted, could face up to 25 years in prison and $750,000 in fines. Though nonviolent first-time offenders rarely get serious prison time for these charges. Accompanying Hunter in court today, the First Lady of the United States, Dr. Jill Biden, who also happens to be celebrating her 73rd birthday today. The trial is expected to last between 3 and 6 days and will emphasize the worst moments of Hunter's life. Prosecutors with President Biden's Justice Department expected to call 2 of the mothers of Hunter's 5 children as witnesses against him in a case overseen by Judge Mary Ellen Norica, a Trump appointee. And I lay all of this out in great detail not to further agonize Hunter Biden or his family, who have all clearly suffered greatly due to his drug addiction, but to point out President Biden's commitment to an independent judiciary and restoring integrity to the Justice Department, which, after the presidency of Donald Trump, was greatly ailing after he weaponized the DOJ against his enemies. To be clear, President Biden could, with the stroke of a pen, pardon Hunter for all the charges he currently faces and end this trial immediately. But the White House has repeatedly said that President Biden, who reportedly speaks to his son multiple times a day to help him maintain sobriety, will not do that because he believes no one is above the law.
Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case, and it was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you, like millions of Americans who served on juries. This jury is chosen the same way every jury in America is chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
That was President Biden just last week after his opponent for the presidency again, Donald Trump, was found guilty on all 34 felony counts in his hush money election interference trial. The president making the point that America's democracy has endured for nearly 250 years because everyone, whether rich or poor, connected or not, Democrat or Republican, must obey the law and be held to account when they do not. But this bedrock principle of the United States is no longer respected, to say nothing of cherished, by the Trump Republican Party. In their authoritarian view, the Justice Department is a sword to be wielded against those who challenge the powerful. And They want you, the American people, to embrace this dangerous, cynical view as well.
Do you accept the jury's verdict that Donald Trump is guilty of these 34 felonies?
No, Peter, I disagree with the jury's verdict here. A jury can only act within the constraints that a judge puts on it. And this case was rigged from the very beginning. I hope that the Court of Appeals in New York actually applies the law in an even-handed way, as opposed to do what this judge did, what Joe Biden's Department of Justice has done, which is bending the rules at every turn solely to stop Donald Trump. The only thing Donald Trump is guilty of is being a threat to Joe Biden's reelection.
That was Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas this weekend, claiming on Meet the Press that the only reason Trump is now a convicted felon is because Trump posed a threat to Biden's reelection. Of course, Biden had nothing to do with Trump's conviction, and Senator Cotton, a Harvard-educated lawyer, knows that, as evident by his answer to another question moments later.
So just to be clear, though, if he was weaponizing the Justice Department, wouldn't he want to keep any case away from his own son?
He was forced, his own Justice Department tried to rig a settlement. They were forced by a judge asking questions of the prosecutor and Hunter Biden's defense attorneys.
But wouldn't he get rid of it completely? Why would he weaponize it against his own son and just get rid of the case altogether, by your argument?
Well, because he's going to pardon his own son after the election. And that's what you should ask Joe Biden at the White House sometime is, do you commit to not pardon Hunter Biden after the election?
Let me go back, Senator, to my initial question, which is, if it's so objectionable for the justice system, to, as you say, to be weaponized by Joe Biden against Donald Trump, why is it appropriate for Donald Trump to campaign on weaponizing it against Joe Biden?
Donald Trump has said that his so-called retribution will be success at the ballot box.
Well, he also said an eye for an eye, so he hasn't just said it's success.
You see, Senator Cotton and Trump-supporting Republicans want to have it both ways. They dismiss Trump's felony conviction as politically motivated, but obsess over Hunter Biden's legal sagas brought by the same Justice Department as somehow evidence that President Biden is compromised. There is no evidence President Biden had anything to do with his son's picadillos. Yet, this deceitfulness is what has become of the Republican Party under Trump, and is a blaring warning sign of what will happen to the Justice Department if Trump is reelected in November. He and his allies will use the more than 115,000 employees of the DOJ to prosecute and jail anyone who challenges them. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Thank you so much for helping me hit 300 subscribers. Your support means so much to me. Please like, subscribe, share, and join me in the next one.